Welcome to Swarf and Chips. On this week's show, this is happening.
No.
Hold your horses.
What?
We've got a better idea.
Something different.
Okay. In here, there's some companies, and we're going to visit a company and do Swarf and Chips from their
10
factory.
precision engineers, 10 UK manufacturing businesses. Where are we going to go?
We're
Who's it
going
gonna
on the
be?
road.
We're going on the road today, now.
Okay.
Take your pick.
And it's down to you to pick the winner.
There's some pressure here. Dun, 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 dun.
This is going to be a regular activity on Swarf and Chips.
I can't read
Swarf
your
on the
writing. Proto Labs.
Proto Labs
Perfect.
in Telford. Who's driving?
You can.
Okay.
Let's go.
Damien, thanks very much for your time today. But for those engineers who don't know Protolabs, what do you actually offer?
Protolabs is the world's fastest source for prototype and on-demand production parts. We help engineers take their concept and their design ideas to production faster than they ever could before. We do that by offering 3 rapid manufacturing services: 3D printing, CNC machining, and injection molding. And what we've done with all of those services is revolutionize the time it takes to take a CAD concept to real off-tool part.
And in the UK, how long have you been going?
UK, we're just coming up to our 12-year anniversary. We're a global company. Our HQ is in America. We've been trading for about 19 years, and we're also in Japan. So we position ourselves across the globe to really help engineers where they are based, and we produce near them so we can support our speed message and their rapid iteration through product development.
So I'm with Lee and I'm here on the shop floor. I love on your website, Larry Lucas, the founder of the company, he created a framework many years ago of all the coding for the company, and that has progressively happened and stayed and kept your company going. Can you talk us through the process of how he started and what you're doing today to honour that?
Yeah, Larry was an engineer, and he was at a company that was making printers. And he was just frustrated at how long it took to get plastic parts made. And he thought, well, I could do this better myself. You know, he's a very clever software engineer, and he started writing all his own software. We've since had a team of 50, 60 engineers that do that now, but it's all from the foundations that Larry laid.
So I'm a company, I want to make a part, say we're going on to the prototyping of the business, prototype side of the business now. I want to make a part. Now, can you talk me through your processes and how quick, because you've got a very fast turnaround here, haven't you?
We have, yes. The customer will design their product and send us a 3D CAD model. That then goes through our software. We analyse that. We have a team of engineers looking at that analysis, and then we quickly turn around a quote within a couple of hours. But within that quote, there's design for manufacturing feedback. So telling the customers how they can improve their design, what changes need to be made to manufacture that part. And all of this is live on a web quote where they can make adjustments, get an updated price, and when they're happy, they click the button and that comes straight into our system so we can start making it.
So you're basically telling me within a few hours or within a day, you can come back to me, give me a design concept, and you can tell me that I can make my part.
Exactly. And it's not only turning a quote around that quickly. Once we've got the order, we turn parts around that quickly as well. In as little as a day, on some occasions, same day.
And who are your customers? Who are the people that are coming to you here at Protolab?
It's design engineers, but it's anybody and everybody. So a single guy with an invention or a multinational company, we can work with anybody, any sector.
It's very clear to see that Protolabs have invested very heavily in Haas machines. Can you tell me when you first bought a Haas machine here in the UK?
Yeah, well, it was back in 2005 when we first established the company in Europe. Haas were with us right from day one. We initially put 4 machines in.
So you've recently invested in 26 brand new Haas machines. How many machines do you have on the shop floor now? And can you talk us through what those machines are?
Yeah, sure. So that 26 has taken us up to 130 machines. We've got a mix of VM3s, VF3s, VF2 SSYTs, and they're split between our different services of injection molding and CNC machining.
And what materials are you putting on these machines?
So on the moulding side, we're making mould tools out of aluminium. On the CNC side, we make parts out of plastic, soft metals and hard metals. That's how we sort of categorize them. And we tailor the machines for those different materials as well.
So why do you buy Haas machines? I know you were an American company to start off with. Haas are American. So where did the relationship begin?
Generally out of America, the synergy was there between the two companies. Haas machines are very affordable, reliable, and do service our needs perfectly.
Well, Pat, thanks for joining us today here at Protolabs. I've got to say, this is some facility with your machines in, isn't it? Just remind me, how many have they actually got? How many Haas machines have they?
Protolabs here in the UK have 130 machines, which includes 4 turning machines. All the others are milling machines, some with 5 axes.
Now, the ones we got here are new machines. They're just about to be installed. They've gone for this VF2 YT model at the moment. Just tell us a little bit about the YT model first. What does the YT indicate?
Well, the YT is the extended Y-axis version of the VF2. It gives that machine now 508 millimeters of Y-axis rather than 406 it would have as standard. The reason to have the Y-axis extension here is to get a carousel with 40 tool positions.
Is that what the T means, the fact that you got the bigger tool changer?
It's the bigger tool changer, but it's travel. Mostly it means travel.
Okay, so they got 40 tools on all of their machining centres from you?
All the new machines have 40 tools as a matter of standard.
And what other options do they come with here when they're delivered?
They have 15,000 RPM because they want the higher spindle speeds for the smaller tools. They'll all be fitted with a filter unit to take out the mist from the atmosphere. And there's 12 of the most recent batch have 5-axis capability, so they have a trunnion table on each machine.
I note behind us here we've got lots of billets and material. It looks like they're doing vastly different materials here on your machines throughout the facility.
The most recent batch of machines, which was 26 in all, were split into 4 groups, one of which is plastic. So the components blanks that you see here are the plastic blanks for this group of machines. So there was plastic, soft metals, mega and finishing. They were the groups of the 4 sections that we supply the machines for.
We're going to go and have a look at the turning centres that they've got in a minute as well. But I think what I'd like to explore and find out from you here, Pat, for this Swarf and Chip special, how do you go about supporting a customer with this many machines? How does that work?
Well, first of all, we have someone who has responsibility from our side for the site. So we have a lead service man. He's like a customer advocate that would always be the head man for this. If the people here have any real problems, they'll contact him as their main man. On top of that, what we do is we train their engineers here on site so that a lot of the problems that they might have during the course of a shift, they can deal with themselves. So they're trained to recognize and interpret the fault codes that will come up on the screen. That will tell them where the area of the fault is. That will tell them then how to go about solving the problem. So when they run multi-shift as they do here, they don't need and want to wait for us to respond to them because they need to get the machine back in action straight away. That's the reason why we train their people on site.
Is that something that you bring into practice around the UK in other engineering companies? You try to get them to cooperate and learn so that it makes life easier for everybody?
It depends very much on the customer and what facilities he's got in-house. Protolabs, for example, have a big maintenance department and they've got a very good facilities manager that looks after the machines themselves. The smaller customers don't necessarily have the personnel that they can release to do this. Secondly, of course, if you have a machine in warranty, that customer doesn't want to be dealing with a machine that's in warranty, he wants us to fix it. Similarly, we don't want him to be inside a control system when a machine's in warranty because they may just do something that upsets it. With Protolabs, they're trained at such a level that we are very, very familiar with how they need to run the machines, and so we're quite happy for them to do that first line fault finding.
Yeah, the machines are really reliable, and we've worked with Haas to develop a maintenance program. So Haas have helped us train our engineers so we can service machines ourselves, but also that's backed up by their great service. And when we have machines commissioned like we're having today, they send engineers on site. We've got a team of engineers individually commissioning every single machine, so it's ready to use. And some of the machines that we've had have been making customer parts within 24 hours of landing here.
What I also find interesting about Haas is that you sell a lot of machines. Your bread and butter business is your subcontract machining company, working out of maybe a small workshop that's looking at anything from a tool room mill up to a mini mill, then up to your VF12s and so forth. You service that end of the market very well. This is demonstrating that you service the completely opposing end of that market too. So it just shows the extent of your capabilities, really, doesn't it?
I think that's very true. We do cover from the small owner-managed business to the multinational. Protolabs is an example of a large customer, but these are not the largest machines that we have in the range. The biggest size of machine that they have here is the 3 size. Now the 3 size, the VM3 they have here, has a 1 meter X-axis movement. And that's as big as they need to go here. But our vertical machines go up to 3.8 meters in X-axis bed length. I would say that the popular areas of large size machines are the 9 and 10 size. So that gives you an X-axis of 2 meters and a meter Y-axis, which is a pretty big machine.
You're finding new markets, or you're finding those sizes of machines are becoming more in demand?
They certainly are. Business has changed quite a bit over the years from the early days when we were selling a lot of small, lower cost machines in the tool room end of the market. The market has changed and it's looking for larger, more complicated, more complex machines. But along with that, of course, we have to be capable of supporting those machines as well. So our team of service engineers now totals 35. Each of them has a service van with around £33,000 worth of spare parts in the van. So our first time fix rate for a fault is in excess of 96%.
So Pat, if anyone was ever to say that Haas is just a machining centre supplier or a simple lathe supplier, this is an advertisement to say they're wrong as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, completely wrong. The machines that we see here are Y-axis machines. They're what we call super speed, which means they have a bigger turret capacity, they have faster spindle speeds, and of course the Y-axis.
And does the same deal apply here? Do Protolabs come to you and say, we had one of these machines last time, so we need the same specification again?
It's kind of like that. What they need to do is they need to put as many tools in the turret as they can and leave them there. And that's the same theory that they have in the machining centres, where they have the 40 tool carousel. So this has a 24 position turret, so they can leave all 24 tools in the turret. On top of that, a lot of these stations in the turrets double up tools, so they have in excess of 24 tools, probably 30, 40 tools inside the machine and leave.
Are these ST30s built to accommodate heavier machining as well? I mean, I notice here we're machining some aluminium parts. Protolabs are machining a lot of aluminium and the plastics and so forth, but will they do the more difficult stuff?
In this cell, Protolabs machine some brass as well as aluminium. But this size of machine, it's got a 10-inch chuck as standard, and it has a 76mm hole through the bore. It's designed to cut heavy steels, heavy threads. Some of the machines have gone to companies that will produce big threads for the oil industry. So this is a very light-duty application for these machines.
How many turning centres are you selling at the moment around the UK? Is the market good?
Oh, the market is very good. Our split between machining centres and lathes is biased in favour of the milling machines. That's what Haas is known for. Haas started their first milling program in the late 80s. The lathes didn't come along until the late 90s. So it was the second stage of their manufacturing development.
How many machines in total are there in the range?
I'd have to stop and count them, but I'd have to guess it's over 100.
That is a lot of machines. Now, there's a lot of new developments coming as well later on in 2017 and 2018. I know we're not going to go into great detail, but there's a lot to look forward to.
There's a tremendous amount to look forward to for anyone who's interested in machine tools. and not just with the lathes, not just with the milling machines, but some of the other features around them, the different turrets that we're going to be able to have on the lathes, the universal machine, 5-axis milling machine, which is going to get more enhancements.
Are you innovating faster than most, do you think?
I don't think there's any question that Haas is probably the fastest innovator in the industry, and what's more, in the forefront and a leader in the industry. And we see a lot of machines coming from other parts of the world, principally from the Far East, and it's interesting to see that a lot of the features that we have on a Haas machine eventually turn up in a machine coming from somewhere else.
Thank you for joining us on this Swarf and Chip special this week, Pat. Thanks for coming all the way from Norwich, and good luck for the future.
A pleasure. Thank you.
So Lee, tell me, why would I come to you with my concept, my part, over going to another engineering company?
But it's the speed that we can offer. With other companies, it takes them a long time to generate a quote. They have to have a human looking at that, analysing, deciding how they're going to make it. With us, it's all automated. The software does that, backed with a team of engineers, and you know, that really takes a lot of the time out of the development cycle.
It's a very fast turnaround. Now, you've told me you've got 130 machines here on the shop floor, but why are some not always, you know, working? They're turned on, they're working, but why aren't they turned on?
Well, it's that scale that also enables us to do things quickly. I have to have spare machines available when somebody wants something in a day. So when everything's running, that worries me. When machines aren't running, you know, I'm in a comfortable position because I know I can do that customer's job when they need it. And that's a big difference with us.
Definitely, I'm picking up on that. There's another side of that, the flip side. You're called Proto Labs, so everyone was going to naturally think prototyping. But you've got that many machines here. You also will be working on production, won't you? And what do you do here on this side?
Yeah, the company was born out of prototyping really, but a large part of the business now is production parts. And we can do low volume, hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands and more. So it's much more than prototyping. We offer on-demand services for manufacturing of custom parts.
So how would a customer capitalise on your service then?
So as a person evolves through product development, it's very common to have different manufacturing or part requirements through that process. So what we find is people will start with our 3D printing service to get those very initial concept models in hand, start doing fit and ergonomic testing, get a feel for how their design's coming together, and that early stage product fit. At that point, they have a choice. If they're thinking they're going to end up with a production solution of injection molding, they can move into a CNC machining service to start testing out production intent materials, seeing how that is working with their design. And of course, through all of this, there's a lot of potential for iteration, and the findings they get from these two services can help evolve the design of those components to be best suited for what they want their product to do, but also the material choices that they're making. Of course, the production injection molding process is commonplace in the market today and is a very common end solution. So with our injection molding, we're helping people when they only maybe need a handful of injection molded parts to support a service requirement, all the way through to on-demand production where they need many thousands of parts, off-tool, off-process production intent material.
So to sum up then, if I'm an engineer, I'm up to capacity, I have a component that I need to manufacture for one of my customers, I come to you guys and you analyse it.
Yep, we offer online support where we will analyse part design, give best practice and design for manufacture feedback, all free of charge, all very rapidly. And then should someone wish to have engineering support or proceed with actual manufacture, we provide dedicated engineering support, dedicated points of contact to really help that development process before production takes place, and then of course during and after production.
Oh my goodness, what an amazing company.
Totally. I mean, if you're looking at a complete manufacturing solution, that they offer it. Massive site.
3D printing, injection moulding, and you've got all those Haas machines, what, 100 of them?
I think what I found specifically interesting is I didn't know too much about Protolabs before we went there.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many other companies have heard of them. They're very good at their marketing, but whether they actually know what they do. But if they didn't, they certainly will now.
And that's a good point to make there, Paul, because it could be you. We're going to make this a regular thing, so do contact us if you want us to come out to your company and do a little bit of a walk around. Yeah, we can. It was really good fun. So, as we always
driving,
say,
wasn't that good fun?
don't forget,
No,
like,
fine.
comment and subscribe. If you want to watch any previous episodes, click on the links here. And as we always say,
Get your name in the hat.
get your name in the hat and keep those
All the
spindles
box.
turning.